All right, guys, we're going to be breaking down some snatches from one of the newest lifters on our team, Chris Wilson. Chris is a youth weightlifter looking to try and see if he can qualify for Youth Worlds this year. He's pretty close, not far off, and let's go ahead and break down his technique on this. So we're doing a hip snatch plus a snatch complex. It's not bad, just a little all over the place. A lot of excessive movement happening. Reminds me of a lifter I can't put my finger on. I can't remember who it is, but very reminiscent of a pretty famous weightlifter. All right, so let's break down this first lift. Anytime that you do a snatch from the hip, we want to see the movement, especially for beginners. We want to see the movement mirror a jerk or a push press. So this means that when you pick it up, you're going to only bend at the knee. I would say it looks like your grip is a little too wide. It looks like the bar is actually above your hips and more like on your lower stomach. I may have to chat with you a little bit about that, but I would be willing to bet your grip's a little too wide there. But here's what this dip position looks like. So his shoulders are way in front of the bar. And this isn't to say that that's not how it should look when you get to that position from the ground. However, as a beginner learning the lift, you see something like this happen, which is if you lean forward, you're going to overemphasize a hip shift forward to push the bar away from you as opposed to driving the bar up. And that's going to also make it really hard to pull under, which is another big thing that I'm seeing here. Is it's more of a throw and catch as opposed to pull under and stay tight and connected to the bar. And this little shift of the feet in, just a little unnecessary. Try to minimize any amount of movement as possible because when you get up to those heavier weights, things like that can lead to a miss and you not even really have needed to miss that bar. Now, let's take a look at the full. You look like you watch Dmitry Klokov lift a lot. All right, start position. I would like to see it kind of works for you. So I would normally like to see somebody start with their hips. As a beginner, I'd like to see you start with your hips in a static start position. However, you kind of make this pull work, right? Anytime that there's any excessive movement. So if your hips were to start moving without the bar going anywhere, but it's not happening, your hips are coming up and the bar is moving up, and your knees are getting out of the way. So that actually kind of works for you. A little bit of an early shrug here. Here's something. We could finish that pull under a little bit closer to the body by trying to imagine getting those elbows high and tight. Whereas you're kind of turning over a little far away, right? You can see the space between the bar and your head should be a lot closer than that. It should also be a lot closer to your chest as you finish your pull. And then here's one thing I want to see from you. Your bottom position is just a little unstable in the shoulders. So I would recommend every single snatch that you do for the rest of your life, sit down at the bottom of that squat and don't rush to stand up. All right. This is going to help make sure that you are not standing up and missing behind when you have technically already done the hard part of the lift. You've got it into the right spot. But if you stand up a little too fast, the upper body will kind of lean, the head will lean forward and the bar will go back. And if your shoulders aren't as strong as they need to be, then that'll lead to a lot of missing behind. So I would recommend sit at the bottom of every snatch that you do. Overall, not bad, dude. I'm having a hard time finding things for you to work on. We'll need to crank up the weight a little bit for next week for sure. So, all right, guys, that's it.